Hi, my name is Charlie Hoffman. I'm the product owner at VES-Artex for Dairy Boss, and today I'll be talking to you about 2D visualizations of your intelligent barn. So I just wanted to go over a few of the main features that the 2D mapping has right now, and then later where we're going to go. So at first we have that we're able to map all the devices that you have on your farm, whether there's devices that you bought through VES-Artex or devices that you currently have on the dairy, new installs, retrofits, whatever they may be. So just quickly going through the line there, we have mainly the fans, curtains, high pressure fogging, soakers, really anything that we have in your dairy that you want to monitor and to look out on a phone or a web browser, you're able to map out on the maps themselves. I added down here bottom, etc., because as we continue to add devices, as we continue to monitor different things, alley scrapers, different things even in the front of the barn, the parlor, chillers, plate coolers, all different kinds of things. We want to add this visual representation to what we have out on the dairy. Pen overlays. So again, from our barns in the spatial recognition, we want to see where those pens are and what devices are in those pens. Again, adding kind of to the visual representation of what it looks like. And when you're out in the barn, you're in the pen, you can see what are the devices, what devices that have issues, what are the devices that are functioning correctly, which is kind of ties into the next one, which is the alert displays. So on the actual devices themselves, again, you have the visualization to all of them. If there's a device that has an issue, there's an alert that actually gets kind of superimposed on the actual icon, the device itself, which then you'll be able to hone in and see what the issue is so that you can vet it and fix it appropriately. I'll show an example of that later. Multiple views, just a side view, end view, and then also and then also the wall. So just different ways in which you can look at the barn and see how those devices fit. So typically we'd have the exhausts on the end view. On the top view, the circulating RCV fans, whatever you guys refer them to as, and then also the various levels of visualizations, how we can turn off and turn on layers, whether that's types, whether that's groupings, etc. So this right here is a good example of the 2D map visualization. So you can see here, the main rectangles are the pens that you have. So from here, you're actually able to select the pen and go into further details on the information. Later, when we add more integrations and other data as it relates to the pens, you can access it straight from the map here, kind of as a shortcut. Again, it adds a bigger meaning or better context to what we have. You can see here, so I'll explain real quickly what we have here in terms of the fans in this case. So this is a top view, and you can see these are the circulating fans. All the groups are designated by the different shades or the different colors. So you can easily tell here visually what are the colors here. So you can see we have 4 groups in this barn. And for this intended purposes here, we don't have exhaust fans or pressurized fans, but you can see how the icons are to signify circulating fans. And then as well as the different probes that we have, temp humidity probes. And again, this isn't just subject to just fans or just probes, like I said. As we continue to add devices, the corresponding icons will be available so that you can see them. So, and then I'll show them the next slide where you can actually dive into it further from the map. Everything starts from the map, or at least you can have it like that, and then go into the other details that you might find of interest. So what I put here is just the connected list view between the map and also the list, or the cards we call them. So from the map, you can go to the list view and vice versa. So what I listed is we have a toggle between the two. And the importance of this is that when we're looking at information, let's say in a particular group, we can select it from the top right where there's the kind of the mapping icon, and it'll show you or pulsate and indicate when it switches to the map what fan in that group there is. So you can see on the bottom there's the main information of the fans, their current status, and we also name them according to the dairy. So again, we want to kind of add more of the element in terms of how we're going to personalize it for the dairy. So when we name the groups, we name the fans. We want it to make sense, and we want the dairyman to be able to reconcile and to use it appropriately. You can see also on the top there, this is just a list view, but you have the option to toggle between the different ones to show whether you want all three to show up, whether you want just in this case, just the ECV fans to show up, or whatever it may be. So the added insights, so again, the reason why I put this up here, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on the functions of this card, but what I wanted to basically explain was that you can get to some really specific information really fast straight from the map itself. So again, if you're in the barn walking around, you see a fan that's not working, you can hone in on it, select it, you can see the card, but then you can also see added information. So this is just some of the information. As time expands, depending on the fan or the capabilities of the device and the metrics available, this is just, we have current requested run speed, run time, and also power. So again, we're seeing the fans within the groups, but you also have the ability to see the graph's performance over time. But again, what I wanted to mention was just you can get to some really specific metadata really quickly from the map itself. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. So, and the next thing I kind of want to mention is, so that's kind of what we're at now with a 2D map. It's a good part, it's a good visualization, a good start to what we have. But again, we don't want to stop there. We want to be foot on the gas and continue to develop and continue to add, more of an advanced visualization. So, advanced 3D or 3D-like visualizations, the enhancements of the functions, so on and off. So right now, again, we have it that we see the groups, we can see alerts that are kind of superimposed over the individual icons. But again, can we have a layer that we see the on-off status and kind of put it in a either symbols or visualization codes to see from a high overview, hey, what's working, what's not. Added devices, again, what I mentioned. So again, it's not going to stop with the foundations that we have. We're going to continue to add other things, as I mentioned, alley scrapers, waters, brushes, just different things. Again, all kind of encompassed under the same logic, the same methodology that we have in the maps. And then also, right now, we have just a drawing that we load up, and then we load the icons, the devices on the maps. But later, to use actual photos of the actual dairy, kind of superimposed to make, again, more of a better feeling for the dairies, that they can kind of understand more about what they have. And so what I added here at the end is something that it could look like. Again, when you see this here, you can visually see what's working, what's not. And that's the whole point of this, is to have a system that's simple to use, but also the availability to, the flexibility to hone in and to see what you have on the barn, and maybe a different way of viewing it. So this would be like potentially the next step into what we have, but then also kind of adding on towards that and adding more of elements and things like that. That's the main gist of what I have here today. So kind of, just to recap, the visualizations that we have now, the 2D visualizations and the icons that we display to look at the statuses tied to alerts. Those alerts also, you can see them visually on the map, but you also get these alerts, whether it's email or SMS, text message, whatever the preference is, and also the people that get them. So it could be dealer specific, it could be the maintenance guys. It all depends on who set it up. Again, we want to have the right people that vet and take care of the alerts, and so from there, we can add to a bigger picture of where we're going and kind of, again, visually and simplistically kind of show, the status of the barn. So with that, that's all I had. If anyone has any questions, but that's it. Sue. So yeah, I mean, there's kind of endless opportunities on a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, like there could be different metrics, air. Again, kind of similar to what we have in the maps already, but adding more of a realistic feel, kind of a step up from just the drawings themselves. So yes, we'd be able to, yeah, yes, exactly. So, but yeah, we've made really good progress. Again, the idea of the map is to at least, the objective is to at least show in the visual space what it looks like, what you have, the general control. But as time evolves, how can we make it a little bit more complex? How do we make it feel a little bit even what we say cooler, I guess, and continue adding features to that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.